I'm Ontaria Kim Wilson, and I was one of the co-directors and an actress in The Ways of White Folks. The show was based off of Langston Hughes' novel, The Ways of White Folks, which was his ode to the Black community, his ode to people who were the working class. But what he wanted to do in this story was to show us the relationships between Black people and white people, and how as two bodies, we technically are one, and it's society and societal norms that make us go up against each other. So he wants us to push past those things so that we can actually work to a point of healing together. But the reality is that these stories existed, this way of life existed and still does exist today, and we need to find a way to come to terms with it. And the only way to come to terms with it is to deal with it. So I think what most people don't realize is that Philadelphia had a hand in the Harlem Renaissance. And while the term is Harlem Renaissance, that Renaissance was permeating throughout the East Coast. And Philadelphia being, let's say, the crux of America. So we have a lot to offer in regards to the arts, in regards to theater, in regards to writing, music. Like, we are a part of the Renaissance. With us having the opportunity to be the first to produce one of Langston's work is pretty massive for the city of Philadelphia. Glen Foerd Mansion for us was the right place because of the storyline and because it's just a beautiful, beautiful mansion, and every room lended itself to each story that was being told. When I first walked onto the estate, I felt uncomfortable, and I felt like I wasn't supposed to be there. I could feel the presence of my ancestors, right? Those Black people who worked for the family, who tended to the estate. But then there were moments or nights where we would have heavy fog, and that same eeriness that I felt walking onto the estate was magnified even more. We weren't fearful of doing it. It gave us more power and understanding why we were telling this story at that place during this time. Just to know that we are all human beings who are here to love each other, support each other, do life with each other. And even though we have our differences, that's not enough reason for us not to connect and for us to walk in unison with each other. And so I believe that that story is one that makes us think about the human condition and what part we play, not in the past, but looking at the past and determining what we won't do, like our forefathers and foremothers. What are we going to do different to make sure that we don't hold on to that legacy, that we're all here now creating our legacy? I feel like I was living out his legacy. And there was one show where a group of people came over to me. They purchased the books and they wanted me to sign the books. And I'm getting emotional now thinking about it. At first I denied it. I was like, I can't, there's no way, I'm not doing that. Because I know as an artist, when you produce a work for somebody else to sign their name on your work, to me that's fraudulent. Like, how can you do that? But what they told me was, they were like, you are the closest we'll ever get to Langston Hughes. And then there was a write-up in the Broad Street Review, and the writer wrote that I was leading the charge in the new Renaissance here in Philadelphia. And I was like, whoa. I'm like, no. I'm not ready. Like, that's not me. But you never know as an artist how people look at your work. So my takeaway was to, I guess if I have to answer that question, It's to walk in my legacy, whatever that may be for whoever may come behind me, and to be assured that the work that I'm doing is qualified.